Fear runs your life, and fear makes you suffer. And it's not just fear, it's pain. It's stuff that we've experienced from the past that still lives on inside of us today. In this video, I'm going to show you how this happens, show you how we suffer, why we suffer, and at least just one little snippet of this. I'm sure it's infinite reasons why we suffer. But once you understand this, I'm sure that it can set you on a path to do some real work in your life. So let's get straight to it. Here we go. We have reality and we have you. Now, reality is infinite. We can't put it in this nice circle here. Okay. But reality is everything. Everything that's possible. And reality is infinite. It contains every single possibility that life has to offer in every realm of possibility. You contain that as well. So you are reality. You are infinite. You are the same as reality. Here's the problem, is that we go through life, and as we go through life, we pick up stuff. And this stuff is what some people call trauma. We can call it stress. I like to call it fear or pain. But as we go through life, we pick stuff up. And we're holding onto this stuff. Now, life, this is the funny thing. Reality is always penetrating us. So as we walk through life, we're constantly being shown reality in every possible way, in every way that reality is. Now, when I'm shown reality here, in this part of me, like, you can say that this is you, and these are all parts of you within. It's infinite, but these are all parts of you. So if it hits here, in this part, reality hits me right there, that's no problem. I like that. I enjoy that. Maybe that's like the taste of a root beer on a warm day or something, right? That's fine with me. But if reality hits me here on some of my stuff, on that dot, then that's when I suffer. Why? Because I have resistance to reality there. Because something on that spot hurt me. Because there was something I experienced in life, right in that slice of reality, that was painful for me. So what have I done? Well, there's fear. I have fear of that part of reality. And so when it hits that part, I feel something really icky. And that feeling is something inside. It's something in the body. But it can come up as like you just want to leave a situation, or you don't like this person, right? Or you don't like this thing. If you attune more subtly, you'll notice that it's something in here, something in the body somewhere. This, in a nutshell, is why we suffer, because we have all of this stuff, and this stuff doesn't allow us to let in these parts of reality, right? And if I can't let in a part of reality, then I can't be okay with life. Okay. Now, what happens when I can't let in that amount of reality? Well, now I live a life of deep avoidance, basically, because no one can penetrate, no one meaning reality, but like, when I'm talking to people in the world, when I'm being present in the world, this whole area can't be touched because it's too sensitive, it's too painful, there's too much fear. So what do? Well, I push people away from it, or I don't let myself experience it. And because I'm afraid, because there's fear here, there's fear of this part of me. So this makes me suffer. This is really difficult for me, having this here. I'm always moving around it. Now, this is not ideal. We don't want this. The reason we don't want this is because obviously it makes us suffer. But we don't get to experience that part of reality. This whole part of reality, I don't get to experience that. That's not something in my life that I get to find joy in. This is something you can find joy in. This is a part of you that can shine, that can feel joy and presence and peace. Okay. But it's not right now. It's flipped right now. And that is a really real bummer. That's a real shame that this much of you cannot see the light of day. This is what brings wholeness, is if that part gets to feel the light of the day. But it can't because of pain. Now, I've talked about this in recent videos, but I think it's worth talking about again just in case someone's fresh here, is that this all comes from pain. This is what trauma is, right? And trauma's big and trauma's small, and trauma can be tiny. But it's basically that someone came in and hurt you. There's mistrust now, right? And so because of that hurt, because of that pain, you've closed something down. That's what that area is. Okay. So it's a bummer not to experience your true self and your full self, which is this. That's you, right? Now, clearly, if we want to feel better and more peaceful and more joy in our lives and in ourselves, then there's something we need to do. And when we have this, it's quite obvious what that might be. It's what if we start to get rid of some of this stuff. And like I said, it's clear, it's obvious when you have this picture, but when it's you that you're dealing with and working with, it's less obvious and less clear. And it's also not clear how to do that. Now, if you keep watching this channel, you're going to learn more about how to do that. So I'd recommend subscribing. And that's not something I can sum up in this video, but one must understand that the reason that we have this stuff in the first place is because there was an original pain, and because I'm afraid to encounter that original pain, basically. So it's not just that it's there, it's that I'm afraid of it, that I'm afraid to go there. I'm basically afraid of this part of myself. I'm afraid of this part of reality. So what needs to be done is we need to learn how to work with fear. And we need to basically expose ourselves to this part of reality, which really just means to go inside and to pay attention to ourselves and to bring attention to these places inside that are hurt. This is something we can do every single day because we experience suffering every day. Reality is going to hit on one of these points every single day. So we have an opportunity to experience it. Now, this is a very deep and subtle work. So, like I said, I recommend just watching more of my content so that you can digest more of what we're talking about and not just necessarily try it blindly. But what you're looking for here is to expose yourself to the fear, learn grounding techniques, and learn how to breathe, learn how to ground with your breathing. And like slow exposure to these pieces inside of you that are not okay with reality. And in doing that, we can basically, we can move through the fear and we can move through what's there, and in moving through what it is experiencing what's in the way. So yes, this means we have to re-experience some hard things in some way. Like there's pain inside of us. We have to feel that pain. We have to knock down the fear enough to actually feel what's there. And in that way, if we can feel what's there, it gets to move. and we can wipe a little bit of it away, right? So that's our process. This is how fear runs our life. Because of pain, and we're afraid, and our fear will constantly drive us away until one day we choose to turn toward it. Now, I said this in a recent video, I'll say it again, that some of the most powerful people who I know in life have had like their little bubble here full. And then they've emptied it. And that's what makes them super powerful, because they've been through this process of emptying and of releasing. They know what it's like. They know the deepest fears and pains, and they know the deepest joys and peace of life. That's what makes them powerful. We can all have the ability to do this. And in a sense, we all have the responsibility to do this as long as we're in a place in our life that we can. Now, if we're still in a place of some sort of trauma is still happening to us, like an abusive relationship or something, it's going to be hard to do this work. So I think just honoring this type of stuff, like if it's still happening, yeah, we probably can't sit down and do the full release work. But if you're in a place where a lot of this is in the past and you're ready to work on it and move on, then this is your work. So if you like this video, subscribe to the channel, check more of the content out. I have, this is part of a playlist called The Gates of Healing. I'm just introducing different ways of thinking about healing every month for the whole year of 2026. I also have free meditations on my channel. There's a playlist, you can check that out. Like the video, leave a comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in another one.